Hey everyone, it's me, Ryan. Once again, I'm streaming, and I figured I'd stream this weekend to kind of just make up for the fact that I hadn't streamed at all. I was originally going to stream, or at least I was originally going to record, but then I realized, hey, why not just stream this? So I'm doing that tonight, and just playing. Yeah, I've kind of just been putting off this illustration. What this illustration is Greentail, the villain of, or at least one of the many different Bandit villains of Black Mass, or at least Cole's, I guess, bad guy at the demo. I wanted to make a large illustration to kind of just demonstrate all of them together, like Nad plus all the enemies plus everything else, and hopefully this is slightly better. I've been putting this illustration off forever. I've been hating it, actually. I've been unwilling to work on it, and it's probably my perfectionism hitting me. What's this? Oh, I know what this is. I think this was the original thumbnails. Yeah. Oh yeah, these were the original thumbnails where it's like you had a shit ton more enemies. Could I salvage this with like the existing characters? Not really. I probably could, though. I do eventually want to like make a poster of this. I could do this. You know what? I at least want to get this cast shadow done. I think for now. Yeah, I think a lot of me just not getting this illustration done is just me not knowing what the hell to do myself when it comes to just the illustration. I've just been, I'd say, meandering. I've been flip-flopping on this illustration a lot, where I'm constantly fumbling around with whether or not this should be, whether or not I should finish this in Clip Studio Paint or Procreate on my iPad. I believe I started this on my iPad, where I was working on in Procreate, and it's kind of just working on, like, hopefully with the ambition. Well, the initial idea was that I make this bear animation, or at least, like, I had all four of the Black Mass enemies, where you had the giant bear, plus the weasel, plus the knife fox, well, he's upgraded to a sword fox. And then you have the bow fox, who's upgraded from, well, actually, no, she hasn't changed that much. Doesn't really have a name because they're supposed to be just generic enemies. And then you have Nad Greentail, the freaking raccoon archer. But he's not a raccoon, he's a tanuki or a raccoon dog or whichever. The one thing that's tough about just figuring this out is kind of just making this coherent. Like, I feel like with this illustration, it's not really conveying that Nad's the boss of these guys. So that's kind of just one of those things where, yeah. And I'm gonna basically just do a sloppy gradient where I basically kind of just say, hey, this is this is this is them being like, he's the boss, and I'm trying to like distinguish him from the bear right here. I could probably just soften this. I'll just soften this out. What I really want to do is push Nad out so you can tell which that, he's the slightly more important. Like, the bear's supposed to be the dumb muscle of this illustration. I think one giant thing that's just driving me nuts about this right now is that I'm not conveying at least what I want to do in a correct way. Like, I'm not conveying the message that I want to do, and I guess, quote unquote, like, long story short, I'm being perfectionist about it. And, everybody will say, hey, don't be perfectionist, this doesn't matter. And it's kind of like, well, if it doesn't matter, I don't want to work on it. Like, I don't know. And I think overall, I kind of just felt inadequate about my illustration ability, because I actually finished this, or at least got a majority of this done back in January, and I just didn't want to work on it at all. And make it green and then make it sad. More of a shadow. Multiply. That'll look slightly better. It ain't perfect. I don't really know how I can just deal with it, but I'm making it work somehow. But yeah, what I've been doing just for the past is just mitigating the fact that I just am not good at working on stuff. Let's see. I would probably make it less intrusively dark. Like, I could probably just get rid of this. Or I could probably like nice, slightly lighter. I'd probably like do something like this. Maybe like darken it just a little bit more. I think I've kind of just hit this weird point where I'm like, I just want to get this done. I now kind of just in get it done mode. Also, I'm starting to notice that this illustration has gone south in terms of performance. Like, I feel like the performance is not making the illustration look good. Yeah, I mean, I should probably just nudge this fox a little closer. Just a little bit closer. Yeah. I've kind of been real unskeptical, or at least not unskeptical, but kind of just, I now need to just be more fast and loose with just painting this, because it's kind of just hitting a point where if I just don't do something, I'm never gonna do it. So this is a massive case of I'm just doing things now. I just don't want to hang myself up over little things like how it's actually supposed to look, lighting issues, drawing issues, because a lot of the stuff that has been holding me back is mostly just things having to do with perfection stuff. And basically, I just don't want to work on art because of that perfectionism, or at least large illustrations. That's probably the main reason why I've just been so slow and not posting anything at all. Is because I just give up on things where it's like, oh, there's something more important to work on, or I don't have enough time, and I keep making excuses to not make time, and yada yada, the typical artist fare. Like nobody really knows what I'm doing except for me. And I'm just constantly just making excuses for myself. Overall, this is just me trying to just, I guess, do morning meditations, like trying to get myself to just do something, because usually my weekends I don't normally draw as often as I want to on weekends, because I'll either end up doing laundry, or I'll end up cleaning the house, or I'll wake up early in the morning and just not want to do anything. Like I'm recovering from just my day job and just the other weekends where I'm like drawing things that aren't for me, or at least drawing stuff that's not, well, strictly me. Like I feel like the games started to become work instead of a hobby. I'm worried that I'm starting to hate the game because of that, where it's just becoming work. Because I think that's also half the reason why I don't do more pixel art regularly, is because pixel art just now has become work in my brain, and that's not good at all. Like if it just becomes work, it means that I'm not having much fun doing the artwork, and that could be a problem. So I'm doing this illustration because I need, I guess, a small victory. Like I need to feel like, okay, what I did today was remotely good, or at least objectively good. And yeah, overall, I just want to have some thorns painted. And I'm trying my best to not go into an existential frustration mode where I'm like, this lighting looks awful. It looks like this illustration is not 1,000,000% perfect. So that is one of those things I need to get over at the moment. And that ain't easy, I'd say, but I'm doing what I can. These thorns are drawn, or at least I put some, at least modify the detail of the thorns so they're not so you can just tell that they're, they actually hit the ground. And I think another thing is, like, I feel like when I'm in the middle of an illustration, I feel like I already fucked it up, like even from the jump. Like I feel like even through all this learning and all my like working on it and stuff like that, I feel like after I finish the sketch, I feel like I already screwed it up by coloring it. And I think that comes from the fact that I never imagined this as well, I never imagined this drawing in color. Like, I never imagined any of my drawings in color that often, and that could be a problem depending on, I guess, who you ask. Well, no, it is a problem. I keep making excuses saying, oh, this is not a problem. It really is. Like, I'm basically... I know what I can do. I'll just make it so this is a tear. Then make this look like it's shaded. I could probably just crank it down. Okay, this looks slightly better. Yeah, a lot of this is, I'm trying to just get away from being psychotically perfect. So, yeah, with this, I've kind of just been like, you know what, if I'm in the wrong layer, I need to just paint over it. It's, you know, I need to just get it done already. Like, I'm not gonna just go layer hunting. I think drawing on the iPad's kind of just got me more into just drawing for the sake of drawing, because it's kind of a pain in the butt to change layers on the iPad. So I'm now kind of just falling out of the habit of switching layers as often. Though it's not 100%. Like, when I paint, like, in general, or like when I'm doing like more, like, guess comic-y art, I'm still in that mindset of I need to ink the lines, I need to flatten the colors so they can be collided on the printer and stuff like that. And you know, I'm still just in that brain set sometimes, and I think it's mainly because it's a lot of my older art is like that. Let's look. Put it up a little bit more. Push this. I don't want to push the... I want to push this. At least push the, yeah, you know what I mean. No, you actually don't know what I mean. I want to push the belly a little bit more, because it hears the plane. Like, he's supposed to, like, this chest area is supposed to be, I guess, top. There's supposed to be like a slight gradient to it. I'm trying my best to not completely ignore this. And this actually just fucking sucks, actually. I'm trying not to get too completely pissed off, because that's just basically the mindset where you gotta do is, even though a piece is ticking you off right now, you need to teach yourself how to fight through that frustration, because it'll happen frequently. You're gonna be frustrated about art pieces all the time. You're gonna feel like what you're currently making is not good enough compared to everyone else in the world. You'll look on Instagram and you'll just see everyone's fan art being the absolute immaculate pinnacle of all possible art. And then you're kind of like looking at your own art. You have frickin' cartoon animals doing frickin' nothing. No story, no comic strips, not even interactions. it kind of feel like you're completely out of your element. Your art is worthless because you just don't do anything that anyone gives a crap about. And it's very, very easy to fall in that despair while you're doing that. Or at least, well, not while you're doing that, but more just when you're making things and, you know, you're struggling to figure out what to do with yourself. And it's very easy to kind of just fall into that negative, nihilistic, this doesn't matter, this will never matter sort of mindset. And it's very, very easy to kind of just evolve and just crumple up in your corner and kind of just hide from the universe and think no one would miss me when you're gone. It's very easy to feel that way. Trust me, well, look at my like silly rant right now. I'm like going on a dumb rant about just how much I hate working on some art pieces sometimes. And pile that on with the possibility of pile that on with the fact that I have other pieces that I keep starting and never finishing. Like, I think the worst habit that I have as an artist is that I start so much stuff that I never finish. And that's probably the worst thing I can be as an artist, and it's half the reason I feel like I'm an inferior artist. Like, I could, you know, a lot of people are gonna tell me, oh, I'm wrong, I'm the best artist in the world. I don't feel that way, because I can see the flaws in myself. Every artist can see the flaws in themselves, because they're striving to get good. Like, most artists worth their salt are striving to get good. It's like fighting games. Like, obviously, you know, it's a video game and stuff, but, you know, you're trying to get really good. If you want to win Evo, you gotta, like, you know, do all the training, do all the lab stuff, learn the combos, learn the, crap. I'm running out of dumb fighting game metaphors. Like, you gotta put in that time and work, because learning the inputs is part one to it. Like, you know, that's the game manual. Like, you can look up the game manual, or you can look at the side of the arcade, or you can look at the, there's like this, thing on the arcade thing where it just tells you, like, how to do the button inputs, and they'll have, like, each character having the special moves, like, just written on the side of the arcade. You can look at that. Like, that's part one. The actual mind games and, learning optimal combos and learning how to read opponents and stuff like that. That's a whole other task to learn. And it's not easy to learn. Alright. I'm going to, you know what? I'm gonna take you, make you more of a, I need to tilt you away from, yeah, I want you sticking out too hard. I think one thing that I still haven't done is I haven't grinded in just color theory. I haven't done much grinding when it comes to just me learning color theory and learning how to make it. Frick, how did I? Okay. Yeah, one big thing that I still have yet to put in the time learning is color theory. Like, I feel like my coloring is still awful. Like, ripping off the Game Boy palettes was a nice step, and I just stopped for no reason. I think it's because, like, no matter how much fancy tricks you learn, you still are, I still feel like I'm just unwilling to just deal with that awkwardness. of drawing. So it is what it is. I can learn this, because that's what you kind of need to get yourself thinking, is you can learn this stuff. It's not like it's secret knowledge. Like, you can make it happen, you can make it work. It's just a matter of doing it. And it's not easy to do. Like, I'm not gonna be delusional and tell you, oh hey, it's all easy, bro. Like, I was talking to someone on Twitter who was kind of like also feeling like crap and being like freaking know-it-all Johnny over here. I was like, oh, let me help him out because I'm a good guy, even though I don't really know his situation. Yeah, I was kind of like, okay, so, and you know, technique, that is easy to learn, but actually, like, selling that stuff, I mean, that's that's a completely different ball game. Which, in a way, it is true. Like, you know, making the comic is like step one. Actually selling a comic book to someone who wants to buy, who doesn't want to part ways with their money, who's probably saving it for something that's actually important, like food. You know, grocery prices are rising in America, so, you know, we're still dealing with the aftermath of a plague. We're still dealing with, you know, a borked economy. So people aren't as willing to, you know, buy things these days because, well, they're trying to save money. So it's not that your art is inferior just because no one wants to buy your stuff. Like, you know, there's plenty of other factors. There's other things you gotta think about in life. Like, there's, at the grand scheme of things, art is a luxury and not everyone can afford art. So, you know, obviously this is tough for an artist to really figure out, but, you know, that's kind of just how that goes. That's, you know, that's the nature of learning art. I'm sure the people who were in the Great Depression or whatever had to also deal with that. So, you know, I'm not any more special than those people. In fact, I'm pretty sure, let's see, the Great Depression, that's 1920s. I think J.C. Leyendecker was doing it. 1920s artists. You know what? I'm gonna look it up. I got time. Let's see. Art of the 1920s. Or better yet, Art of the Great Depression, because that's probably more accurate. Let's see. Art of the Great Depression, National Gallery of Art. Fuck it, we'll go on this. Yeah, we're just gonna go on the National Gallery of Art. Let's see. FDR, yada yada. Let's see. Thomas Hom Brenton. Shoop. A lot of pencil sketches make sense. Pencils are cheap. Pencil charcoal's pretty cheap. Let's see. A lot of this looks more modern. Let's see. Other arts that's in the Great Depression. Yada yada. Yeah, I would just 1920s art because it does tell me the date. It's like art of the 1920s to 1930s. So yeah, 1920s America. Yes, we're just gonna do the ADHD stuff. Okay, so 1920s, it's Art Deco and Harlem Renaissance. Okay. So that's like, yeah, Leyendecker and, no, not Leyendecker. Leyendecker is after, I think, if it's Art Deco. The Leyendecker's not a Art Deco artist, I don't think. I don't fucking know, and I'm now just not caring anymore. Yeah. Wikipedia. Just go on Wikipedia. We're just gonna look it up. Let's see. Control F 1920. Let's see. New Deal art. Alright. Alright, so Mexican muralism was that time too. Okay. That means what's her name's husband was also just working. Yeah, Diego Rivera, I think. Okay. It's Carlos. No. Okay, yeah. I was slightly right. Well, actually, no, they're not married. Okay, they are married. I'm an idiot. My art history is a weird cloud of trivia, really. Like, I have zero art history education, really. Like, I sort of know animation history, but no, I don't actually have animation history. Like, I know the technical stuff, but then the actual history is kind of a vague, hazy cloud of garbage and trivia and stuff like that. Let's see. Yeah, a lot of Art Deco, Mexican muralism. Okay. A lot of Mexican Revolution art. But yeah, Leyendecker doesn't seem to be in this. Jack Levine. Oh, I think I've seen this then. Yeah. There's some like paintings that I've probably have seen, but I've never like seen the name of some of these. Abstract Expressionism was after World War II. Alright. Abstract Expressionism was roughly the 30s and 40s. Probably because it was a reaction to brutalism and realism. Let's see. Yeah, I know a whole lot of fuck all about art history. Let's just admit it. American Southwest. I remember this one. Dempsey versus Firpo. I do like this painting because it's like this painting was before the Muhammad Ali picture too. That that one famous Muhammad Ali picture where it's like, oh, Muhammad, it's the exact same pose, so people probably just knew instinctually. Oh, I actually remember seeing this at the Art Institute of Chicago back in 2018. Actually, it's actually surprisingly smaller than it looks. It's actually, I think it's like, I don't know, 9-10. It wasn't that big. So that was pretty interesting. American Realism, American. I've heard of John Singer Sargent. Sorry. You know what? Enough of that crap. I still have an illustration I need to finish, so just deal with that. But what was I actually doing? Oh, I think I know what I probably. Yeah, we'll just adjust the teeth. And that'll be it for this bear, because I also need to work on this weasel, because I actually don't like the colors of this weasel. You know what? Yeah, my brain's like going nuts because this weasel. I think one big thing that I need to do is adjust the color of these shorts because kind of just blending into them. Yeah, we're just gonna do a fast readjustment. Okay. What color should they be? Maybe green. Maybe green would be like it. Because this weasel was from my initial marker art. Or not my marker art, but my initial art I did of this weasel. Let me see if I can't find the actual original drawing that I did. Alright, there's the sun. Alright. So I kind of just made two versions of this just for the hell of it. Accidentally did the auto save. Whatever. So this was actually supposed to be red. So I'm gonna tilt you towards the red side. Yeah, that'll be better. And then I like push you towards that. Let's get rid of bad ideas. Let's see. Kind of like saturate this too. I want this to look like you actually are in the location. Because you're more saturated than your peers. It's slightly better. Push you down this way. I think I kind of just didn't do anything nuts. I just added more stuff here. Yeah, this will actually be this way. Yeah, I shouldn't be like working too hard on this. Actually, what I really should be doing is getting basic stuff done. Just get it done. Yeah, today is get it done day. Like, stop fucking around, stop being like, start actually just making it. And you know, it's a mindset that I kind of need to get back into. It's kind of like, just finish it. Like, it looks like shit, sure, but if you don't finish it, you're never gonna finish it. So, yeah, here I am, kind of just doing this, and hopefully this will look slightly better. I feel like this could be darker. I'll just magically on darker. Yeah. Magic one darker. Probably they have so many just unnamed layers that just doesn't matter. That's my flat color brush. It's kind of weird. I keep drawing my wrist. Like once I hit a certain zoom, I just keep wrist drawing. It ain't perfect. And, you know, I'm not going to be the one to just admit that it's not perfect, but it's kind of just one of those things where I'm kind of just trying to get over just my insecurity as an artist. And this is also just it's fun. You know what? I'm going to see if I can't see this weird, you know, select all these oranges and see if I can't push this not as unreasonably orange. Let's see. That's right. It looks fine. Now so. Fuck, I was paying this. I'm hitting a massive case of buckets this morning. At least this afternoon. Really just want to be done with it. This is a massive case of I need to be done with it. It needs to be done. I think one giant thing that's kind of just happened is that I've forgotten the purpose of this drawing. Like, I know the purpose of this drawing is, you know, get Nad to look. I have a large illustration to kind of just show, you know, what Nad's about. Because, this illustration is supposed to match my original pole illustration. Let's see. So sorry. Yeah, because this illustration is supposed to match this illustration, which is, you know, Cole the Weapon Seller. And this is my main character, my game Black Mass, if you want to check that out. Now it's clicked on the bottom. But yeah, I feel like at the moment this was the peak of my art right now. Like, I feel like this is the peak of just general illustration. I actually just bothered to illustrate everything. This was back when I still tried. And I've been spending a lot of time trying to just recreate this, or at least this energy that I had. And I thought I could recreate it with Shop Arguments. So I also had another illustration called Shop Argument, and this was just me I hope 17 is the actual last one. And this larger one, shop argument, was supposed to be like, you know, another like big illustration that I want to do. And at least I got it done, or at least it's done to a point where I don't hate it. And it's kind of just one of those things where it's like I want to like have more illustrations done in the style of, you know, what I want to do, like the big tentpole illustrations that you see on like tabletop artworks or, you know, tabletop game books, like, you know, the typical like big art piece that you see in like old school game books and things like that. Like I like that illustration, and I feel like I just keep half-assing most of my art because I just, well, one, this stuff takes more than 2 hours to make, so you know, it is what it is with that. Okay, I need to get back to this and then alright, I'll make a slight rim light here. Because again, I need to distinguish this away from the bear. In fact, I should actually make a slight shaded gradient. Make something that kind of like I know what I can do. 3, and then the dark gray green, and then select invert, get back to that gray green, delete it, or well, clear it. I don't have an immediate delete button. There we are. Maybe like maybe just go and multiply and kind of just crank that just a little bit. Yeah, the performance is going down, and yeah, clearly this is just not working. I think my biggest regret is not like playing the composition of this well enough. Like, that's probably just the big thing that kind of just has fucked me already, is I haven't planned the composition at all. Like, I haven't like done any tone studies, I haven't done any color studies. And I think that's just been my biggest problem with my art, is that I've been winging most of my process, mostly. And yeah, I'm kind of just making dumb excuses. It is what it is. let's see. Kind of like constant. I'm always zooming out my art because I just always. Like the one thing that just truly bothered is that Nad is kind of undetailed compared to this guy, so I need to buff up Mad right here. So let's do it. Okay. First things first. Yeah, first things first. We're getting in some more like neutral brown. We're getting in some more neutral browns here. Like I feel like he's way too pale. I think this is mostly a result of me kind of just drawing Nad in either Clip Studio Paint and kind of just giving up. Like I was just massively giving up on most of working on this. I was working on it in Clip Studio Paint and I just didn't want to work on it anymore. So I imported into not Clip Studio Paint but Procreate. I imported you into Procreate and just didn't want to work on it again. I think I probably finished this, and I never posted it actually because I just hated working on this. I also feel like the anatomy is still not 100%. Like I'm still seeing like weird little pose foibles and stuff like that. Yeah, I also feel like the archery is also not perfect. Oh, the rope's also really bad here too. Like it feels like it's painted on instead of like having its own texture. Like the bear's rope, it has stuff. His rope, it's got it, but he doesn't. And here I am kind of like constantly ignoring that. And yeah, I'm constantly just painting on. Yeah, what brush am I actually using? I'm using the Ryan paintbrush. I think this was modified from the Frienden brushes. Yeah, I don't remember like which brush I modified. I rename brushes I keep because I kind of just want them to be my brushes, so I don't just switch them out. Like one big thing that I've been trying to like do for my workflow is kind of like pick brush settings that I like, then make them as separate brushes for me. That way I can just export that pack and not need to re-import the other big brush packs that I bought in the past. And I can just work on those. Work off that. If I need the initial brush pack, I can just either re-download or just not have it. That's kind of weird. I haven't really experimented with a lot of my brush packs that much because I'm not good at experimenting with my art, I'd say. That's also another flaw that I just don't like about my work, is that I don't really experiment, I don't mess around. But honestly, I don't even feel like I make art that's that resonates with anyone. Ugh. I shouldn't have been streaming while in my depressing state. You know, it's kind of like, okay, I'm gonna stream and work on this. Thing is, I'm just too down to be drawn, or at least I'm too down to be doing this, or at least entertaining. Well, this kind of bullshit. So you know what? This can push you to the side. There we are. Yeah, gotta pick a shadow direction. Like, even if it's supposed to be above, you should at least make the shadow, like, make all the shadows to the right. Or at least that's in my view. Kinda like, you gotta do as much as you can to just find the shadows, because it's easy to kind of just not care where the shadows lie. Ugh. Okay. This could actually be darker, so I'm gonna push you darker. Push it all just darker. Hate this shit. Just feel like it has a remote bit of contrast to it. Just figure out just adding more contrast. On this stupid crap piece. Probably doesn't matter. I'm unreasonably miserable today. I think that probably just has to do with the fact that I don't normally draw. At least I don't normally work on stuff. I mean, I do work on stuff in the day. It's just, this isn't my mood when it comes to just working on stuff. I'm constantly frustrating myself when it comes to things. And this has kind of just been my brain set when it comes to like, yeah, this is what I need to do. And I'm constantly just unreasonably self-critical. I don't have to be self-critical, but now, obviously, I need to, well, it's not objective. I'm not being objective, let's be honest. I'm shit-talking myself because I want to not do bad. Not doing good, it's not doing bad. That can be an issue where you're less trying to do good and more just not do bad. You know, you're not trying to like make your art good, but not make it bad or cringe and shit like that. Because I feel like that's kind of just the big issue for me, is I'm constantly worried about looking cringe. I think this is probably just me like being that freaking dipshit millennial, even though I'm like 30. Like I'm probably slightly older than, I guess, most people who would really be considered millennials. So it's like, I still have to, you know, I still feel this worry about what other people think of me, because I've spent most of my life, I guess, people pleasing, and clearly it's just made me miserable. And I go to therapy to kind of just deal with just this personal issue why am I constantly just being like this? Like, no, seriously, why? Why am I like this? So, a lot of just me just doing stuff is kind of like, I'm always in my head. And you're kind of just getting this weird glimpse of what's in my head. And I don't like making this public overall. Like, I kind of just feel like I should just shut up and draw. Yet I'm streaming. Like, I probably didn't even need to stream this. Yeah. I need to shade these arrows. Let's see. Arrows are made of wood. I think I've kind of half-assed these arrows. These arrows could probably be better. Because I think my art style has been a bad mix of realistic art to I'm being lazy. I don't want to like make it as detailed as I need to be, because I know you're not like looking at every like little arrow that goes down here. Like, I'm pretty sure you're probably just like, oh, it looks so detailed, and it's kind of like, yeah, because there's a bunch of details that don't matter. I mean, you're watching a stream, you're seeing details that sort of matter, and I do my best to kind of just make it kind of matter in a way. There are little things that kind of just make it seem like it's not that big of a deal. But I'm sure like someone who actually cares will care about it being a big deal. Like, otherwise people won't actually watch art streams. So I shouldn't be constantly disparaging myself just because I don't know who actually wants to learn art. Because who knows, maybe the stream is educational for you. Like, whoever's watching is like getting a bit of education, kind of just seeing that I'm not simply just drawing in every layer. Like, the reason I'm able to like draw full screen is that I have a lot of my common layer stuff as pop-up menus. So I have my layers set, my layer panel menu as layers on shortcut Z. And then I have my brush subtool set up as shortcut X. And then I have, you know, whatever tool properties as shortcut C. Then auto actions as shortcut V. And then B is my color wheel. So I kind of just do that. And this is sort of my just universal drawing thing. And then I have most of my brushes on I have my lasso tool on Q, then my default brush on W. Or no, QW is my magic wand tool. Like, Q and W are my selection tools. Then E and R are my like drawing tools. So it's like E is my painting tool. Then R is my, now E is my drawing tool, R is my painting. Then T is just a normal text tool, because it's not too bad. Like, I'm probably really redundant for doing this. Like, I could just make it just one default brush, because I also have it so I have numbers for just the common brushes I use. So it's like 1, I got the pencil. 2, I got, like, this is probably easier to demonstrate like on a blank spot here. Like 1, I'm on a, 1 is the pencil tool, it's my general sketch tool. I sketch and it comes out. 2 is my inking brush. This is my just default. I want to ink my line art and I want it to look like as close to my nibs and brushes as I can. And I managed to get it set up to a point where I'm remotely happy about it. And the reason why I don't have any anti-aliasing on these brushes is because I like I'm still in the comic artist flat coloring mindset. So E is the soft brush, and I actually rarely, 3 is the soft brush because I rarely use it, but I might use it. It's kind of just one of those things. And then 4, oh yeah, 4 is my signature brush. Well, 4 is roughly my gimmick brush, actually. Like, it's where I'll put like all of my cross hatching brushes, my crowd brush. Oh, this is probably like my favorite brush I've made. So I use this brush. I made a thorn brush, so I drew a bunch of thorns, and this is actually how I made this bear drawing. This this like how to do the wraps around is I made a long ribbon brush of just the thorns. That's been rad. And what's 6? I guess I've got nothing assigned to 6, but yeah, 2, yeah, 1, 2, and 3 are just my general just comic coloring on. This is how I comic color fast. Uh-oh. Whatever. Yeah, I don't have like a normal like delete key. I have the transparent color key. And that's kind of just how I do it. I have a transparent color that functions as my eraser, and then I have the normal color key. Anyway, I'm gonna actually use the bathroom because I've had a lot of coffee, and maybe I just need to look away from this, so I'll be right back. Alright, I'm finally back, and I had a nice timing to get off the ad. Or at least not off the ad, but off the break. Alright, back to doing this. I think what I need to do right now is kind of just work on... I'll just work on this. Oh yeah, I'd probably... I'd probably just talk your ear off about just, yes, how I do my tech setups and stuff like that. So, hopefully it's helpful. Hopefully it's, if it's not helpful, I'm sure you found something more effective. It's me just finding Clip Studio Paint tutorials and kind of just going off that because people are decently good at Clip Studio Paint. I feel like compared to, I guess, my previous time, like learning Clip Studio Paint, I'm getting better at Clip Studio Paint, or at least I'm learning to not hate drawing in Clip Studio Paint. It's still not hitting a point where I can just casually sketch, though. Like, I still feel like just using paper is more relaxing to sketch in than just just pulling out my iPad, because I think overall it's not easy for me to just work on an iPad. I mean, it is in some ways, and in other ways it isn't. Like, I do like that I can draw on the side of my pen. I can draw on the side of this, but yeah, I can't draw on the side of my Wacom pen. Like, the iPad's decent with that, but other than that, I feel like there aren't as many options as I'd like with the iPad. Like, I feel like I need to reacclimate myself with the old iPad tech. I feel like I'm not as solid in that scape. I also noticed that what was supposed to be his wrappings is just a finger. We adjust you here. I like little things that I'm adjusting as I go. There's a lot of stuff that may or may not even be relevant. Like for this, like he probably doesn't even need to have his nails all shiny. Like, can do it. Yeah, I feel unreasonably down about this piece, so I'm trying not to be a complete negative Nancy about this piece. I am making it exist. Like, it's not like one thing that actually like drives me batty is that it doesn't, like, I can't paint like this. It doesn't even work like that. It has to be painted like this. But one positive thing I'll say about the iPad is, you know, I can do like that. Like, with a pen, you know, I should probably just go on the big selfie. So, with a pen, like, I can both, like, draw like this, but I can also just take advantage of, like, the tilts and stuff like that. Like, I can, let me see if I can't find a scrap piece of paper here. Like, I can both draw like this. This is really thin. It's tough to do, but whatever. I can draw like this, and that's nice, like, thin lines. But also, I can draw on the sides, like this. Get the wider marker here. And I can get away with that. So, I can do it like this, the bottom and the top. And, you know, this is a bad demonstration, but being able to do a lot of this stuff makes it easier on me to be able to control my lines a little bit more. That's one thing that's kind of just been bugging me about just learning traditional art. Like, I feel like I'm still not able to master the tilt settings of this. Like, you can probably like see right here, you know, like the little subtle subtle little variations on the line, and that's something I'm still struggling to figure out how to get working for digital artwork. And that's probably just a big source of my personal frustration when it comes to just learning digital art. Is like, fuck it, it'll just be this. Learning digital art is kind of like, oh hey, what you're doing is like not one-to-one drawing and not one-to-one painting. So you're kind of just, well, I won't say you're beholden, because I'm sure like if I figure out the right settings, they'll finally work to how I want to paint. But the fact that I have to constantly turn my paper, or at least turn the screen like this, drives me bananas. Like, I don't want to be doing this all the freaking time. So that's kind of just one of those things that I'd say is me struggling to be happy with digital art, or at least my digital art. I'm sure other people are totally cool with digital art and probably have just mastered this. And I feel like a total boomer who can't do shit right. So, yeah. I could probably look up a tutorial. Like, I'm sure a lot of my complaints are like, I could probably answer this with a tutorial. Okay, I'm far back. Probably should at least add some I know no one's even gonna notice this, but I am. I'm gonna notice all this shit. I mean, like, if I just leave it, kind of looks like it's not even supposed to be in place, so that's why I'm doing this, because it feels like I'm not, like, I feel like most of this piece doesn't even look like they're in place, and that's been driving me nuts about this entire piece, is that they don't feel like they're in a sense of place. I feel like I should have caught this from the start. Yeah. Like, I have so many alternate style arrows in that, like I feel like I should just did more arrow studies. Like, that's kind of just how I've been realizing, like, if I just did more studies, this probably wouldn't even be an issue. And I need to do that. I just do more studies in general. That's weird, because it's kind of like, okay, I'm practicing for the sake of practicing, and I'm not really like executing instead of actually just applying what I know. I think this is right. So sorry. I also have a lot of, can't even say whether these details are extraneous, because it does, these details are relevant to what I want to do. Like, this is obviously like his quiver and stuff like that. This is what makes him cool. But it's like, he is a fucking hard to draw character due to these like little, quiver things. So it's tough to really like have that. Oh, I also don't have a model sheet for Nad. Like, I kind of just go off of nothing when it comes to just, Nad's issues. I don't like this video game. What am I calling it a video game? This is a drawing. And that's kind of just the thing that you kind of gotta get over, is just your personal dislike of this drawing is going to affect you. What you do with the drawing kind of just doesn't matter compared to what you need to be doing. So let me just push this forward. Okay. Okay. But now there's slightly more definition. It's not a complete. Alright. I will say, like, this brush is good for just the fine detailing. Like, this is a solid brush for just learning how to detail and finer, work with finer detail compared to, I guess, the broad brush. I have half a mind to kind of just flatten this image because it's like, maybe I just need to shut up and just keep working. That's probably it. Just keep working. I'll figure this out soon. Then I can just make it work. And I got music going. If you want to watch me stream, you know what you're getting into. This is art stream. lighter. I feel like a total failure. This ain't gonna work. This just freaking sucks. Just keep making this work. Keep at it. Now help this run.
Here I come. That was incredible.
There's literally nothing wrong with what you're doing right now. Just keep at it. There's literally nothing wrong with what you're doing right now. Just keep on keeping on. Do it. Make this happen. Yeah, I don't like this game at all. Need a better blend. This'll work. This works a little better. That's not it. Let's just push you to the darkest. Yeah, this will just be inside the mouth, the darkness. Okay. You could be dark. Ugh. I don't know why I'm so just relying on the undo key. I just don't like painting at all. But hey, Destiny, I'm working on stuff just to do it. I'm kind of just like trying to finish this illustration. There's no deadline, it's a personal piece. It's just I've had this on the almost done stage for the past, I'm gonna say 3 months, and I haven't even gone forward with it, so I need to get it done today. So that's what I've just been up to, is just work on this, get it done today, and just get it out of my hair. I don't like that this is... I kind of like the redder gradient over this. Gotcha. Yep. Where have you been? What have you been up to? Are you going to do this? It's 3 already. It's 2:30. Time has completely flown past me. Well then. 3:30, and I feel like I should have been done with this hours ago. Can't believe it's already 3:30, or at least, you know, out in the Midwest. I had a bit of a crisis. That sucks. Hopefully at least managed it. That can be, that can be tough, like dealing with, like, I'm guessing family issues again. I did some anatomy drawing at least to push myself to art. That's good. That's basically what I've been doing today. It's kind of just like pushing myself to art this, because for I'd say the past hour and a half of this stream, I've just been completely shit talking this entire illustration. Not just crap talking this, like how I've been working, how I've been just painting, how I've been tackling most of this art and stuff like that. And you kind of gotta work through the garbage mode in order to actually get yourself to just put in the work to work on it. And despite me like being this like semi pro am artist, I still have to deal with that too. Not the most like absolute super perfect superstar artist to be able to do this. So, I still have to go through my times of like suckery. So, yeah, I totally hear that. Yeah, mostly to cool off. Yeah. Drawing's a nice way to meditate. It's like a nice You know, as long as you're like doing it quietly and things like that, it's good to meditate. Though, I mean, obviously you can't draw to metal. Lots of people can draw to metal. Like, I've drawn to metal. But probably needs to be like more, I guess, I can't draw to lyrics overall. Like, Pink Floyd's a sole exception, but it's like a lot of their songs don't have enough lyrics for me to need to worry about that as much as, say, maybe like, I don't know many other like lyrical, I guess, ambient characters. Like, I can't like listen to things like I can't listen to rap. Like, I can't listen to rap while drawing. I can't listen to, I guess, pop while drawing. Like, if it has lyrics, I'm gonna have a harder time drawing overall, because, yeah, but you know what sucks ass? Trying so hard to save money to something important in life kicks you in and takes it away from you. Oh yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's difficult to just save money, because there's always gonna be some surprise expense that you didn't know about that you gotta deal with. And that was kind of a thing that happened for, 2019, and yeah, that was kind of a big, like, I had a car scare 2019, and my starter like went to crap, and I had to go get to a mechanic to get a new one, and set me back $4,000, and that's a giant pain in the butt right there. So I did that, had to like take some extra jobs and stuff like that to kind of like get it done with that. Hopefully I don't need to worry about my car issues that much. I watch my car like a hawk these days, or at least try to take it to a mechanic ASAP. I mean, my car is a 2005 Toyota Camry, so it's freaking old, but it's still good because it's a freaking Toyota. Toyotas are nigh unkillable, and you know, Toyotas can just run for as long as I wish. So I'm not too, like, I got time to work on, you know, just scraping up money to get a new car whenever that is. Like, whenever I can get a new car is basically if I can just get a Toyota. So it's very likely I'll probably just get another Toyota. But then again, I've been thinking about, like, I've had these, I haven't even been on the art screen. Sheesh. I've spent 20 minutes away from my art instead of actually drawing, and I'm sorry for that, anyone who's been watching. I have a bad habit of just having my tutorial not like come on. Okay. Yeah, I've had a bad habit of not like returning my art back to art stream mode instead of, you know, my face mode whenever I'm doing like a demonstration. Like, if I'm like trying to show something like a tiny thing, I usually will go to the big selfie screen. Like, okay, if I'm showing a pen, I need to like zoom in real close. I'll have it like that, and you can't even read the brush. But it's supposed to be like a brush pen sort of deal. But yeah, I'll usually do that when I'm like showing my stuff. But I keep forgetting to actually go back to my art screen. Sometimes I have it set up. I used to have a thing where it would automatically do it, but it started like it was starting to do bad things to OBS and bug out some things. So I was like, okay, let's just not do that and something else. So sorry. But yeah. So far, so good with this Nad illustration. I'm nearly done. At least, hopefully I'll get to a point where I can truly let it go. But it's just a matter of, like, you know, can I actually let this go or not? So, yeah, I mean, so far so good. It's looking fine, or at least it's looking like I'm gonna hate it less. This is a nice, like, spot where it's above. And yeah, I had this large illustration of just Nad Greentail and his gang of bandits and misfits that fight against Cole and rob him. And yeah, they're all supposed to be like just representative of every enemy in the game, or at least not every enemy in the. What the crap? Thought I heard something. It's kind of weird. You're hearing stuff through the headphones, and you're kind of like gotta make sure like nothing's exploded or nothing. What was I saying again? But yeah, this was a giant illustration, just all the Black Mass enemies in the demo, and this was just me just saying, hey, what does this gang look like when they're actually together? Because I've been designing them apart, actually. Like, I've designed like each of them apart and not really like think of them as like a cohesive unit. So that's kind of like one of those things where I probably could set up so that I think one thing that I should do is make them more like color coordinated, like, you know, like they're all on each other's side. Probably also should like make his pants green to kind of just give him more of a distinct color style. In fact, I probably should do that. Like make his pants green. Probably could do that. But let's make a new duplicate. And that's going to take forever to save because it's a whole new file. Then I'm going to see if I can this is gonna be weirdly awkward, but I'm gonna make this happen. It's kind of weird because I also want to make Cole's color green. That's kind of like, okay, he's taking up the color green and Cole's been blue. It's kind of like one of those things where, posture check. I'm already slightly back, I'd say. But yeah, kind of just trying to see how this would work in terms of these little bits of stuff. I'm gonna go here, and this should be dark areas. And I'm not even gonna worry about fucking with the line art anymore, because I think I've kind of just hit a point where if I just blow all of my time worrying about the line art, I'm never going to draw shit. So, and this is where I am, where I'm just gonna fucking paint it. Just paint over it. I'm not gonna fret about like precise coloring. Like, I don't even think I can these days. I feel like I just need to just get over myself and just freaking color the damn thing. It looks fine. Yeah, Bear Club having those barbed wires. There's supposed to be plant roots actually. It's supposed to be like plants. But yeah, it's supposed to like be like the function of barbed wires with like more natural-ish. That's kind of just what I was going for. Just make this tough. Make these guys just look like the toughest motherfuckers around. Even though they're actually like complete losers. Like, you know, they're first enemies. Like, I don't know if you've seen like the episode of Trigun where, you know, the first episode of Trigun, you're seeing like this big giant motherfucker and he's nigh unkillable, and Vash shoots the string that connects to his boomerang, where it is, and it malfunctions his arm and he can't use it anymore. That's the first episode of Trigun, so if you haven't seen it, you know, that's, and you could probably like see like a clip. I think you could find a clip on Trigun. I've been recently watching Trigun. I haven't been watching all of it. It's mainly because I started watching Trigun Stampede and I caught up with it. I was like, okay, I saw like the first 3 episodes, so I should probably at least watch some more. So I, you know, got started like watching the original series. And, you know, it's been pretty nice. I like the dumb bullshit aspect of it, where you're not going to get to the plot for a while. And the general like episodic plot is overall enjoyable because Vash is a funny lad. He's a silly little dude, so I like Vash Stampede. The dub didn't like. I don't think the dub aged that well. I mean, I'm sure people have a fond memory for John Young Bosch and doing that, and I hear he's also in the new, like he's returning for the new dub, the new Trigun. And yeah, it's alright. It's just like, a lot of the acting with the voice stuff is not aged that well, so that's kind of just my own personal, you know, I'm so used to just modern day, you know, people know what the heck they were doing now, that you go back to that and we're kind of like, oh, we don't know what we're actually doing now. That sort of thing. So yeah. Well, the green looks alright. Green shorts. They have brightly colored costumes. This is interesting. So now like a little bit more bright colored. Okay. Slightly better. It's working. I feel okay about it. Let's see. Need to make this like also distinct. Okay. What I'll be doing is also kind of adding a, I guess the fold cloth Like the, I guess like what it would look like if the cloth was like folded inside, what that would look like, because, you know, it's torn cloth, that sort of thing. So, yeah, no. And new reboot has some good animation. Yeah, it looks strong. Like it's not like the Berserk. It's competent. It looks like Guilty Gear cutscene, and you know that's pretty decent. Like I don't know why people are like crapping on the animation when it's like it doesn't look any worse than like a Guilty Gear cutscene. That's kind of just what I'm seeing from the new Trigun. Is like it looks like Guilty Gear, and that's for better and for worse. There are some things where, you know, things kind of look a little bit jank, but you know, it's not like Berserk jank. It's, you know, it works enough. I'm indifferent to Vash's like new design. Like, well, obviously, like I've seen like the old design before, but I haven't like been like crazy attached to it like everyone else has. Like his new design looks alright. It's a bit like, you know, it looks a little zoomer-y, but honestly a lot of Guilty Gear also kind of like has that just design sensibility in a way. Like it tilts, yeah, like a lot of the design looks a lot like Strive, honestly. So that's why I'm kind of not as, I guess I'm not on the hate bandwagon of the design, really, because a lot of that looks straight out of Guilty Gear, honestly. I mean, yeah, Trigun is the last anime I've seen lately. I've been trying to keep up with the Chainsaw Man manga. Like, I've been, like, reading on the Shonen Jump app. And no, it's alright. Chainsaw Man's in school, or at least Denji. It's funny. I'm so in, like, I guess, pulp fiction, old school comics brain that's like, haha, he is known as Chainsaw Man. You know, he's not Chainsaw Man. But it's one of those just dumb things that just gets in my brain sometimes. It's sometimes when I read My Hero Academia, I never think of it as like, I guess, a notable anime, but I think of it as like a silly old school comic. So everybody kind of like sounds like really old school superheroes. Like, if you see like really old school superhero comics, they sound like this. They sound like they're from the radio station. Whereas like, I don't hear Deku as like Deku sounds like Burt Ward to me, even though it's like, you know, Deku probably like has a better voice in the anime or whatever. But whenever I'm reading it, he sounds more like Burt Ward, because that's like, you know, that's the comics aesthetic that Hero Academia is going for. So he sounds like Robin to me. And it's silly. All Might sounds like, you know, classic Superman. He sounds like that, which makes sense. He's pretty good. I hear like his anime dub just goes for that. Like, I think the voice actor for Armstrong goes like that. So, yeah, I think the voice actor for Armstrong is All Might, and, you know, he's doing the typical, you know, superhero gallant man voice, and it's solid. For sure. I like his long coat. Oh, you like Vash's long coat? Yeah, it's a nice design. It's a little puffy, but, you know, I'm okay with it. Like, it's not as like crazy goth as his old one, but, you know, it's got its perks. It looks more like modern day with that one. Okay. Let me adjust these pants. Oops. Can I? Okay. Maybe I can do correct by green. Alright. Man, I do need to like readjust you so you're not as absurdly saturated because I don't want to. Maybe I should just paint over it. Blech. It's weird because it's kind of like. I don't have to do this. I actually really don't have to. It's weird. Okay. You. Yeah, let me color in the ropes too, because fuck it. Then again, a lot of people got mad because another didn't make it to the reboot. Oh yeah, Millie's not in the reboot, which is weird, but I'll live with it. I'll live with it. I'm not as broken up about it, since I am watching the old one, so yeah. Like once you watch the old one and you kind of like realize, oh, the new one's actually not a prequel, it's a reboot, because like on the first episode, it just flat out just says, "Oh, this is Vash's deal. He's from like a, okay, this is a spoiler alert, but Vash is from space, and he is basically a weird super soldier guy, and he has a brother, and his brother's an evil piece of shit." Yeah, that'll work. But yeah, like a lot of stuff where it's like, oh, who's a $6 million band? They don't really do that, because I don't think they're. Oh, shit. Damn it. Yeah, they're not like doing all the like mystery stuff where it's like you have a bunch of other characters claiming, oh, I'm the $6 million man. Like, you can't catch me. And, they don't really like. There's no like mystery as to who the $6 million man is. Like, Vash is the guy everybody knows, and everybody's just there saying yes. So yeah, I feel like it's gonna be much shorter since they're not like doing that these days. Well then, I'll just paint on this. Yep. Oh yeah, I mean, I'm sure Trigun's gonna be fine. No, I'm not like gonna be constantly following it all the time. It's literally, my friend has a Crunchyroll account. I can sneak into their account and just watch it, and I'm watching it whenever I get the time. Ugh. But yeah, I may or may not see a lot of different things. I don't know if I'll see the Mario movie in theaters. I might, if I actually have the time. But you need to like give me a really, really compelling reason to go back to theaters again. Like, I really don't like going to movie theaters if I don't have to. Like, the last movie I went to a theater for was Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness, and while the movie was okay, it wasn't worth being in the theater for. Like, it was alright. I mean, it was nice to see Sam Raimi doing his Sam Raimi stuff, but it's like, it's still kind of meh to me. Like, they don't really do as much as it could with the multiverse. It's kind of like, oh, what if Stop was green? It's kind of like, you could like add like Brother Voodoo in there, or you could make it so Doctor Strange's magic is like fish. Like, you can make it so he's forced. Like, they don't spend any more time than they should in that paint world. You know, like, you know, you can make like a clown world. You can make a you know, like Everything Everywhere at Once was much better with like the alternate universes a little, because like, oh, you have a universe where humanity has turned their fingers into sausage. You have a universe where she's a chef, and basically it's like, oh, I'm Ratatouille now, that kind of thing, and except it's a freaking raccoon. It's nuts. And you know, you could do a lot more, and Doctor Strange doesn't feel like it really used its multiverse stuff as well as it could. Like, there could have been a universe where, like, Captain America was Doctor Strange, or Spider-Man was Doctor Strange, whatever. Like, they could have merged into, what's it called, the other Spider-Man movie with that a little better if it was like that. Yeah, they could have done well with the multiverse. But, you know, doing multiverse stories requires money, and Marvel does not like to spend money if they don't have to. So that's how that goes. But yeah, you know, it's profoundly disappointing as that is. I'm not surprised. Okay. But yeah, last movie I saw was that. Let's see what other movies I've seen recently. Still need to watch Better Call Saul Season 6, because for some reason the library has not been able to just do my requests of, you know, taking the book out, or the movie. And I need to pretty much just go through more illegitimate means to watch that last season, because that's the only season I have left to watch Better Call Saul. And yeah, it's still not done. I need to just catch up to it. Okay. This looks super alright. I like the rough color coordination. No, I could probably like make it slightly darker actually. Get you slightly darker, so there we are. Now I'm kind of just hitting a more just painterly approach to just working on this. I kind of just see how dark I can just make this painting. Yeah, Better Call Saul. That's not it. It'll not work. I'm also kind of just hitting a point with this where I'm like, alright, I'm now using art that's darker than my line art, which is actually pretty funny. But that shouldn't work. do a little bit of this to kind of like shade. Kind of just indicate that, yes, this is adhering to rough physics. Or not physics, but kind of just, you know, what if Nick made a Better Call Saul cartoon? Yeah, I've heard of that one. Kind of silly. And I'm sure it'd be better than Slippin' Jimmy. Honestly, I think I've kind of just had this weird month stint where I was just really into lawyers. Like, I was finishing up Phoenix Wright, and I was like watching a lot of like Better Call Saul. And then like, you know, I keep like grinding on Legal Eagle videos. Like silly, like just lawyer shit. Plus, Carl Jopes was getting sued by Billy Mitchell because Billy Mitchell's a giant cheating liar. And just recently pictures came out that Billy Mitchell was using a modified Donkey Kong machine. So, you know, now Billy Mitchell's basically fucked. Like, like the courts are totally just gonna ignore all of his like defamation suit because yes, there's actual photo evidence that he cheated. And there's literally nothing he can do now. He's cheated, he's used a modified machine, like, yeah, there's almost irrefutable proof now. But yeah, Carl Jopes is pretty great with like, you know, hearing about speed run stuff, yeah, summoning salt and stuff like that. I can't wait to see like speed runs of Pizza Tower, because yeah, those runs look great in Pizza Tower. No, that's right, we're gonna cheat. That's what we're just gonna do. I need the fat away. There we are. Oh yeah. It's coming along. I think I've finally like gotten into a flow where now I can just paint, and now I'm kind of like in that like I'm just pressing buttons phase of it. Have you ever seen that fighting game flow chart where it's like a horseshoe curve where at the start you're just pressing buttons and trying to like figure out what the heck you're doing, and then at the end and the middle you're kind of like now analyzing frame data and shit, but at the end you're trying to just pressing buttons. Yeah, let me see if I can find it. Fighting game horseshoe shark. Fighting. Learning fighting game horseshoe theory. Let's see if I can't find it. It's somewhere. Well, I'm just pressing buttons. It was like, LOL, just pressing buttons. There it is. I found it. Oh, come on. Come on. I found it. I'm so happy. This fighting games chart. I just love this silly thing because it's kind of just how it works with art now. Because it's not like at first you're kind of just struggling to make the line art. Well, no. At first you're like a child and you're just drawing and putting things down and you're just making lines because it's kind of good. And then when you're like slightly more knowledgeable about, well, you're like slightly more knowledgeable about art and you're like trying to take it seriously, kind of like trying to, you know, you're trying to like figure out every tiny little technical detail. And eventually you just realize that you probably just internally gotten into the vibes, all the techniques where you're just doing things. You're just doing things so instinctually that you don't need to think about it that much. And actually, this isn't like a fighting game thing. This is I think this is for League of Legends or whatever. It's sort of like in this vein. LOL, just pressing buttons. But yeah, the wacky horseshoe here with fighting games, so that's kind of just how that goes. Okay. I mean, so far, so good. Okay. Push you down. Now just acknowledge that the eyes are round a little. That just adds slight detail to you. That's actually sort of been bugging me a little. It's kind of like, oh, his eyes are also slightly round. But yeah, I think one more. Push you up here. Let's see. Is this good enough to even let go? I don't know. I'm not gonna fret even harder on this. It's literally like, let me zoom out, kind of like take a wild guess. I should probably hydrate, right? Yep. I'm kind of like in this weird spot where I'm like noodling on tiny little details just to see what's helpful. Okay, I'm kind of like looking at this from a distance and like figuring out, okay, what's not working, what's not like painted yet. I also noticed that her bow's not painted, so I'm gonna do this. background classic. I don't know why I don't like just use the shortcut for the bow here. Push you up higher, make you a highlight. Do this, shade you. This brush is kind of weird because it's kind of like I need to press extremely hard. Like I got this brush really encourages me to be heavy-handed because like if I'm super light-handed, flat I won't color. But yet if I'm too heavy-handed, it'll just be gigantic. So I gotta figure out these slight alterations. Uh-oh. Oh snap. Yeah, my stuff is... Yeah, one thing that's tough about having autosave on is that on one hand it can save your bacon. On the other hand, if the larger your painting gets, the more time it takes up to autosave because it's auto-saving every freaking layer that you put in. Wait, no. Yeah, technically, I don't even need to work on her as much, because like, you're supposed to be in the background, like, you're not that important. I think the most I'll do is, yeah, get back to shading the arrows. Shade the arrows here. Okay. Ooh, wow. Oh yeah, it may like, probably like draw in the metal. I need like a nice metal color. Got a slight rim light to it. And an archery should work. It may like a subtle line that kind of says that, yeah, this is a material. Right. Black this out. Yeah, that looks alright. I haven't like shaded, I guess, this aspect, so I gotta do that. There are like little things where it's like, oh, there are small details that I've completely missed out on. I probably wouldn't even have realized that I did until I looked at it compared to all the other things that I've done. But yeah, This is supposed to be, I guess, little highlights to like occur and stuff like that. Doing hair is always a tough thing for me because it's kind of like, man, what kind of hairstyle do we really put in? Because I probably could just get away with just giving them, I suppose, the bald animal head. Because you can't just get away with it. You don't have to like put in a furry wig, really. Like the what's her face? You know, there are some characters you can just get away with like the non-girl hair type of art. So I mean, I probably can't just get away with just that. And I'm just doing this part to kind of just distinguish this from the back. There we are. And that should work. You're done for the most part. Look at you. I think this hat could at least highlight a little bit bright. Yeah, that's better. You can at least see his hat a little better. Does Diane count? Yeah, Diane would probably be. Yeah, Diane would probably be that. Yeah, that would be one of the characters that could. You know, Diane works without like having typical furry hair. I've also like, I've seen like her original, like the original like book design where she's Agent Fox and she's like. Now she looks like Emma Peel, except Fox, and it's not like, that's okay. And then, you know, Diane works slightly better. She's a little less generic looking than the original Agent Fox design. Which is kind of weird, because it's kind of like Diane on paper looks more generic. But, you know, it still works for just how collectively everything looks. Let's see. You could probably like got it. Yeah, it's kind of funny because I still haven't seen the bad guys. I've read like the book, like I've seen like the children's book, and you know that's all right. I still haven't actually like seen the movie yet. It's in my like library request list. I just still haven't gotten to. They still haven't gotten back to me with it. Like I make a lot of my movie rabbit holes on the library, so yeah, it is what it is. I don't have Netflix anymore because I'm already just blowing so much money on shit that I'm not watching. Like, I had the Shonen Jump app. I don't really read Shonen Jump. I have the Criterion collection because I want to feel fancy, and I still don't watch that. I have what's it called? There's also another I just have a bunch of subscription apps that I've been like not watching, so it's kind of like, wow, I feel like I'm just wasting the little money that I have, and that's a problem. So I try to just cut the fat of things, and Netflix is one of them. Like, if I can get the same movies from the library, like on DVD and stuff like that, it really doesn't matter. I'm also not like chomping at the bit to see the latest and greatest theater movies, so you know, I really need to catch Avengers 15 or whichever. Like, I'm indifferent to Marvel stuff these days because they are finished. Like Infinity War finished everything up. Like, if I want to have more Marvel stuff, I'll just find the comics. Like, not so starved for Marvel stuff. I'm gonna like go out of my way to watch the movies. Okay. And I still like this fucking dumb gangster pose where he's just fucking holding up his pants. It's funny as shit. These like freaking delinquent motherfuckers are trying to be hard. Sorry. Yeah, wasn't this... Yeah, well, I'll add some more white to this. Let's we'll go slightly darker, so yeah, so you can tell like which side the blunt blade and which side is not the blunt blade. As long as you're watching me, I'll see it sooner or later. I'm just not like chomping at the bit to see every new movie because I'm barely like able to see all the old movies. Like there's just so much shit that I need to watch. Like I still haven't seen the original Robin Hood. Like that's how like out of touch I am when it comes to just, I guess, the typical furry movies. And everybody's kind of like saying, oh, your art style looks really Disney-like. Yeah, well, I got a lot of training from the animation survival guy, which is Disney-like, so it's not like I haven't like suddenly learned a lot of animation Disney style. Like I'd say like my art style is very mainstream American. Like I cannot say that I'm super unique with my art style. Like, yeah, it looks pretty distinct, I suppose, but it's like you probably haven't seen much other styles that are much more distinct than mine. I don't know. I kind of, you know, here I am kind of like disparaging myself again. Like, I don't have to do this. Like, I'm sure my art style is totally fine. It's just, I guess my, you know, my self-critical eye has kind of just been screwing me. You know what? Probably like it more. That'll work. Yeah, my self-critical eye is probably like not letting me enjoy shit. Because I'm like, everything totally sucks. I don't want to look at anything. And when really it's kind of like, yeah, but things must be fine. Like, it's not like it's gonna eat your dog or nothing. Like, having a bad art style is gonna just make you, I don't know, want to kill billions of people or whatever. Like, it's art. Like, you can get better at art on your own time. You know, all this does make me worry that, like, Nad's a little over-rendered. Yeah, well. Cast Shadows could use some more work, though. You know what? Ah, shit. Come on. Okay. So what I need to do right now, I like push you and push you redder. Come on. Yep, I'm hitting a point where it's like, yeah, everything's slowing down. Everything is just slowing down. This piece is starting to get so large and so unwieldy, it's just starting to slow down. Which means either I need to just start flattening some things, which is most likely what I need to do, or I need to consider this done already. Oh yeah, I'd say I'm done. Just need to finally let go of this damn thing. Making progress so far. I will get this done sooner. You know, it's one of those things where it's sort of been on my mind forever. I've had so much just weird. I've had so many, I guess, starter sketches where I started with a thumbnail, right? And, you know, in my sketchbook, I'm doing around with like my little mini sketchbooks and have a bunch of like doodles of just little things. And I just do that because I have like little snapshot moments in my head of like cool moments I want my characters to do. And the fire only stays on for me from that initial sketch. Like once the idea is down, I don't want to work on it. That's a bad habit to beat because, you know, I don't. That's a bad habit to beat because that's like step one is the thumbnails. Like, I still need to like figure out the actual illustration plus like the actual movements. What if there's like an alternate pose or something like that? And, you know, it's difficult to really remember to not feel, you know, you're constantly just having new ideas, or you're constantly just having new ideas that you're not executing on. So I try my best to kind of just actually bother to execute on most of my new ideas. So, you know, obviously I need to get the cash shadow stuff done, so I might just push it slightly less. Yeah. That sort of works. Okay. Can I let you go? Kinda. But I do need to like put in some force stuff. So you know what? 1 second while I put my signature here. Come on. That'll work. And then I'm going to do something fucking insane. We're gonna save a new version, put you in 11, and then I'm gonna flatten this, or at least flatten the characters. Come on. We'll save sooner or later. Okay. Add characters. Alright, more selected layers. Selected layers. Visual. Third selected layers. Right. Fluxes, knife flux. Selected layers. Selected layers. And I'm just basically just making, I'm just cleaning things up. Kind of just get housekeeping. Because most of this stuff is kind of like merge selected layers. Do just a bunch of housekeeping because I think I'll probably just let go of this background too. If push comes to shove, I'll kind of just merge you. Now, let's see if I can't do some similar things I did with this one. Probably close half. Yeah, right. Near these need to be executed. My dumbass have magic shit that has pocket dimension. Oh yeah. Sword. So yeah, that's kind of just what I need to do. So, I still need to draw a boring ass tree, so I do want to draw like a bunch of trees. Or at least some subtle trees to kind of just say, hey, this is here now. Because what I'm supposed to be doing with these trees is like, this bear is supposed to be taller than most of these trees, right? So a lot of this is me kind of just bolstering the backgrounds a little bit more to kind of just say, hey, this is actually remotely relevant. We're doing things with this, and we're not gonna just let you just do nothing, so to speak. And granted, it's even looking, but honestly, ain't too bad. I like some little light holes here. Shading, because that's basically what I'm doing, is kind of just suggesting trees as opposed to like saying, oh, there are actually trees here. And I'm dumbly like going around without a reference, like doing this. Like I really should just have a reference someplace. And I just know where the hell to put half these. Me and the boys about to fight the main protagonist. Yeah. Oh yeah, that reminds you of like a bunch of the Caleb City shorts where it's like all the villains getting smart and trying to fight the main protagonist and getting their shit kicked in, and them like realizing, you know, we really need to like fight him all at the same time, and they actually win. They're like, oh, you know, why don't we just always just fight him at the same time instead of just all of us going one at a time and stuff like that. So that is one of those funny little things. Yeah, I think that was a Caleb City skit. Let's see, pure F. Do I have like tree reps with that? Oh yeah, the plot armor one. Okay, I'll just make a blank one. Yeah, the plot armor Caleb City. Trees. Alright, so let's look at all my tree wraps of kind of just ways to kind of just make interesting looking bark. Because it's difficult to really like find like cool looking pieces of, you know, tree hard work and stuff like that. Like redwoods are pretty great for just tree reps. Like I like redwoods. And let's see, like these giant fuckers of woods and stuff like that. These complicated roots. This is supposed to be in the background, so I can't just go find anything that's completely out there. Like, I need to find something where it's not gonna stand out so hard. I think what I really need is to find tree branches and do that instead. Sorry. This could work. It kind of like goes down a little. And it's also kind of a bad quality tree wrap. This also looks pretty good. Also, the trees are much thinner. Nice dark forest. This looks alright. What I really need to do is find like tree tops. I want it to be like, you know, the leaves are at the distance and things like that. Like something similar to this where you're seeing the leaves at the top. You're kind of like seeing the slight gaps in the sky. So I'll go off of this. And that'll be how I'll do it. So yeah, use the darks for the shadows. And then like define just little specks of light. Then fill in either branches or just darks. And hopefully it'll look convincing enough that, you know, you can believe that these are trees in a way. That's some just super basic branches. Yeah, I feel like that bear caused so many genocide and did a lot of sins just by looking at him. Yeah, it's like the executioner mask. He doesn't fuck around. I do want to like make it so it's like you need to like think twice before like saying, yeah, I want to fight this dude. I can take him. Like I kind of want to give him that energy of the chainsaw guy from Resident Evil 4, where it's like you probably could fight him, but that's a really bad idea. Yeah, you might like get ammo and maybe get his club. But we're still like working on just basic enemy AI. Like we're not even close to just getting or like expressing stuff in AI. Okay. Yes, he's built different. He's an absolute unit. Oh Lord, he's coming. I'm in awe at the size of the lad. This is big, dumb muscle motherfucker. It's kind of weird because it's kind of like he's supposed to be more an enemy type than just a specific character. Like I want like other bear characters to kind of just be there so you can tell, okay, this big bear is a tough bear enemy. Go fight him, that sort of thing. Like I wanted to make an enemy that's as iconic as like, you know, the Doom enemies, you know, like, okay, you recognize each enemy and what they can do. So this is how you're gonna do it. Like the Cyber Demon's always gonna have like giant plasma guns and be impossible to kill. The Archvile's always gonna hit scan you from everywhere, that sort of thing. So I'm trying to like figure out how to like make each demon like notable, so you understand like what the fuck you're actually supposed to do without needing to worry about anything. This is okay. Yeah, I'm gonna give it a slight blur. Just push it back. Then maybe like get more towards the blue side. And I'll just paint over you to kind of just go even more off the gradients. Like push the dark just a wee. That's too distinct. I like what I did here. So yeah, what I could do instead is just use the soft brush to blur that. There we are. Much better. Because again, this background's supposed to like just push everything back. Not supposed to take up as much. It just needs to just say, okay, this exists. Try like one more layer to kind of just push this away. Nice and subtle. It looks done. At least, can I let you go? Yeah. Could I add, like, a sloppy sun glare? Could I do that? Yeah, I could, like, get away with a basic screen, maybe? My, like, basic screen. That's like, that ain't working. It just looks blurry. They like more orangey color correction. Just get a little jungly with it. It's good. Alright. That looks fine, I'd say. You know what? Yeah, I should let it go. Let's just let it go. Fuck it, it's done. Let it go. Let it go, let it go, let it go, let it go. Let it go. Be like Esla Frozen Girl and just let it go. Yeah. Build that snowman and just let it go. I'm just gonna save as final. This is the final one. Blah. Save as final. This is final. Final. Let it go. I'm done. Stick a fork in me. I'm done. I don't even want to deal with this anymore. I'm done. And you know what? If I'm not satisfied with most of this, I'll just, you know what? I'll just learn from this and just work on the next thing. 3:47. I've been working on this for the past 4 hours, which is probably not nearly enough as like anyone else working on art, but honestly, at least I bothered to work on art today. Usually I would probably just do nothing. Yeah. But yeah, so far so good. I'm alright with what this is. Maybe I'll like look away from it, but you know, overall I do need to figure out a better write-up, so I need to write the story of like these, you know, this gangster team, because they're partially, I'd say they would actually be pirates more than just bandits, because they do need to be on a ship, and they're, I'll figure that out as I go. Anyway, I think I'm just gonna wrap the stream, and everything else will just be done. So anyway, thanks everyone for watching, you know, this, me just completing this illustration. Thank you, Destiny, for chatting with me and keeping me from just falling asleep. And, you know, follow my YouTube for just the archive of this stream, because I'm going to be, you know, saving it and kind of just dropping that there. So, anyway, you know, thanks for stopping by, and I'll see you next time.